Quantum Conversations, your portal to the inner realms. Access infinite possibilities, infinite mastery, and infinite love. Mind-expanding, heart-opening conversations with some of the greatest spiritual teachers, luminaries, and healers of today's world. Usher in new earth by living in your sacred heart. Quantum Conversations is brought to you by acoustichealth.com, home of music from the universe, online healing retreats, and this program. Claim your free registration to daily shows at acoustichealth.com. acoustichealth.com, your portal to the inner realms. Our program starts shortly. Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. And we are receiving the help of the Dolphins and Whales today as this quantum conversation takes a deep dive into the beautiful wisdom of the cetaceans. My guest today is a true pioneer in her field, and she is here to share the beautiful wisdom of the whales and the dolphins. Anne Gordon is actually someone who graduated in biology and animal behavior, but she's always been connected to the whales and the animal kingdom. And she lives now in Panama, and we call her a pioneer because she truly started what I call a new earth business by following her heart. And she actually brings experiences of the whales and the dolphins to people and human beings. Let's welcome Anne Gordon to Quantum Conversations. Hello, Anne. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Loren. It's great to be here. Thank you.
It is so great to be here. We're going to connect in with our dolphin spirit guide, our dolphin guide, and this is a very healing guide for us, an empowerment guide, and many will feel that this is something they've always had connection to. But before we get there, let's talk about your New Earth pioneering of this experience with the dolphins and the whales, because you really are hardwired for this all of your life. So let's start with you growing up as a little girl and seeing the whales, and they're always in your life. You've always had that connection.
Correct. Yes, I was blessed to grow up on the shores of Puget Sound in Washington State. My father had a boat, so we lived right on the beach, and many of the weekends we'd go out on the family boat. Every summer vacation was spent in the San Juan Islands in British Columbia, and of course that's the home of the orca whales. So I grew up watching the orcas, and it was always a joy, always exciting, no matter how many times I've seen them in my life. And it's always like it's the first time. And to me, whenever I saw the orcas from very young, not only was it fun and exciting, but it was like this presence that was very comforting, and almost like I had this loving, kind, older brother with me at all times. And that's kind of how the orcas feel to me.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. So that led you into biology and study. You worked in a zoo, right? And that was really impressive. And so it's not just the whales, but it's the dolphins too. And for anybody who's ever swam with the dolphins, when we have that experience, we just break out into tears or just feel that joy. Or even if there's a boat and we come across a pod in the water next to our boat, everyone is elated. I mean, can't we just feel this energy right now? It's so beautiful.
It really is. It's that anytime you're in the presence of a dolphin, it's literally impossible not to smile. It just brings up that, and it's fun to watch as a tour guide or a retreat facilitator. It's really fun to watch people just drop all that kind of adult seriousness and need to be responsible, and then just get silly and playful, singing goofy children's songs or TV, like 60s TV theme songs, whatever it is. People just get silly and playful in the presence of a dolphin. And that's something we all need so much because our adult world is full of stress and way too serious. And the dolphins are always telling us to get out and play more.
Yes, they really are showing us that way, that style, that way of living.
Right.
And it is a higher consciousness. Let's talk a little bit about this because dolphins are very multidimensional. When we get to a scientific level, the brains of dolphins are huge. And even the sonar that they use, it's highly technical. It's holographic in a way.
Right.
That they're able to use that sound and locate objects. And those sounds, when you're in the water with them, those are so healing. So now let's talk about your time with the dolphins, even in Panama.
Yeah, the dolphins are just amazing. They're so much fun to be with, and it's incredible. If you're on a boat and you're headed somewhere and you see off in the distance, off to the side, you see a large pod of dolphins, and you watch them change their direction to come and swim directly in front of the boat and play in the waves and interact with you. I mean, that's just mind-boggling that they choose to come to us. And I've seen dolphins where they come and then they'll stop. They'll come ride the wave for a minute and then they'll turn sideways. Or once I saw one literally circle the entire boat. And if that wasn't an invitation to get in the water, I don't know what is. So it's quite magical. And dolphins and whales have been on this planet for 30 million years compared to us humans, where we've been here about 250,000. So I always consider that we're kind of like toddlers on this planet, trying to bumble our way and figure things out, whereas the dolphins and the whales, they're the masters. And as you say, they have this amazing brain. Their brain is larger to brain-to-body ratio than ours. They use more of their brain. They have more convolutions in their brain. They are very conscious. They're conscious of their breath. And they're conscious breathers. They think to breathe. So they're much more conscious about every aspect of their physicality and their spiritual aspect. They're not as attached to their physical bodies or identify. They more identify with their spirit, which allows them to easily move between dimensions. And you talk about their echolocation. That brings up my favorite aspect of dolphins and how they live, and that is transparency. Because with their echolocation, they can literally not only see a fish in dark, murky waters or danger, or the coral reef or the rocks, whatever, but they can literally see inside that fish and see if it's got any weakness, like a broken bone or a disease, to make it easier to catch. Now, they can also see inside the bodies of each other, of their pod mates, and inside the bodies of humans. So not only can they see us, but they see our physical state. They can also see our emotional state. Because when you're upset or angry or sad, you hold your body differently than when you're completely relaxed and enjoy. So to imagine, in the world of a dolphin, in a pod, there's no such thing as secrets or lies. And that's a scary concept for us humans, but it's something that I so admire and strive to. And if we lived in a world where there was no such thing as a secret or lie, this world would be an amazing place to be.
Yes, and we can see that. We can actually envision that as New Earth, right? As we truly all become more transparent. I love it because the dolphins really are showing us the way. And this is not just a woo-woo conversation, right? When we learn more about the echolocation, like you were just talking about, and the incredible healing experiences, right? You must have, oh my gosh, so many stories. But we'll give a few examples here. You know, when we're in the, like you said, the dolphins know when we are sad or there's emotional issues, and we are cleansed of all of that when we get in the water with them. You actually take it to another level and do it with guided meditations. We can actually call on dolphin consciousness and interact with that consciousness. And that is the journey that we're going to take with you later today. I find it so beautiful. It is healing. The clicks and the sounds, like even the high squeaks that we hear. What's going on there? I mean, it's removing density on an energetic level, would you say?
Oh, it totally is. I mean, that their sounds are incredible, and it's so out of our human realm that we don't try and catalog it and put it somewhere. We just allow and accept and receive, which is where we need to be with the dolphins. Instead of, with a dog, you try and figure out, oh, he's saying this, he's saying that. But with the dolphins, it's so foreign to us land-dwelling humans that we just take it all in, and they're really just up-leveling our frequencies and also helping to release and remove any limiting beliefs or emotional blocks that no longer serve. And really, they're so amazingly gracious and accommodating when we are in the water. Because obviously, a dolphin can outswim any human in a heartbeat. If it doesn't want to be with us, it's not going to be. But they choose, and they come right to us, and they, literally come so close. I've had them come so close, like, how are you not touching me? You're so close. And looking eye to eye and mimicking my movements and engaging me in interaction. And it's just incredible. It's literally heavenly to be in the water swimming with dolphins.
It absolutely is. We're putting a feeler out there now, actually a heads up for everyone, for a dolphin excursion with you. This is something that is so wonderful. I've done it myself, and I'm reminded of a past life as a mermaid. There is a knowingness within my beingness as I get in the water with those dolphins. It is so beautiful. And so for those who are interested in swimming, it is a water trip, and we'll talk more about this at the end of our program, but it is a water trip. And so we get in the water. If you're interested in that, please send an email and we will get you information on that. 2020 is a timeline for that. So that is so beautiful. Let's talk a little bit about the protocol, because we know on the Big Island, they are creating their own protocol. It's coming to a point where it will either be enforced by an organization like NOAA, or the organizations will be self-policing, let's say.
Right.
And so what are your comments on that? Because there's simply a certain time of the day, right, where we go and interact, and then there's times where we don't go and engage. We kind of back off.
Right, correct. And to me, any dolphin whale activity with wildlife is based on respect. And so that just governs everything. And really, we want the dolphins and the whales to always have choice and control of the interaction and the encounter. So we never force it, again, when the dolphins come to you, rather than you trying to chase them down and force yourself on them, it means so much more when they make the choice to come and be with us. And so in the bays in Hawaii, there's 3 bays where you can just drive up to, get out of your car and walk into the ocean and swim with them for hours, which is amazing. And I don't know anywhere else in the world you can do that without no boats involved. And so the beauty is that we do that in the morning. And so you'll swim for a few hours with them, and then you get out, and then the rest of the day the dolphins have to themselves. But again, the bays we swim in are quite large. So the dolphins have the choice. If they don't want to be with us humans, then they're going to swim off to the other side of the bay. And sometimes they do. And then oftentimes they come right back. And I've had them actually accompanying me all the way back to shore. It's just, it's a life-changing, magical experience.
Yes. Okay. So what are some of the wildest things that you've seen or experienced? Some, with the dolphins spiraling. Have you noticed any, is it like portal openings or any wild experiences?
Ooh, that's a good question. For me, it's fun because, with my biology background, I come at it kind of one as a scientist, but I also have the spiritual aspect. So I look at both. And I love that, like one day I went swimming by myself. It was before a retreat in Hawaii. And I'm going to go out by myself. And I had my camera and I had a nice encounter with the dolphins. The next day, I also by myself, I said, you know what? I'm going to leave my camera on the shore. I'm not even going to bring it because I see everybody swimming and they're holding the camera between them and the dolphins. And it becomes a barrier. And it puts you in your brain trying to get the perfect shot, the perfect video. It's like, no, I put it down and I had just the most amazing encounter with the exact same dolphins the day before who were passing by and, acknowledging, and it was fun. But this day they came and they swam. It was a mother and a baby. And we just swam together and the baby came close. And we just swam together for the longest time. And then one of the males came up and I often swim with my one arm out in front of me on like almost a side stroke and just keep it out there. And he started nodding his face, his little rostrum up and down, up and down. So I did that with my hand. And then we became this game back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it was super, super fun. But had I been worried about getting the shot, none of that would have happened. So that's pretty special. As far as like magical, it's for
it's
me
all
when
magical.
it's all magical, exactly. When I'm in the water, I'm just in the moment. And then for me, what happens is it's more after I get out of the water, and then I start to integrate the experience and then tune in And that's when I get my messages and taken on amazing meditations. I mean, I've had meditations with sperm whales and with orca whales where I was actually born to as a baby sperm whale. I remember they took me through the whole birth and everything, and it was so incredible. And I've also had one of my favorite orcas. He came to me and he took me through also a birth, and he was my father, and I had this whole lifetime as a male orca interacting with indigenous peoples long before the white men came, and we helped teach his whole tribe how to live in harmony with the earth, and that we would hunt and fish together, and it was just super, super incredible, and it was just the meditation and the experience was just as powerful as if I was in the water and it was really happening.
Yes, okay. And that right there is that connection, the consciousness connection with the dolphins and the whales. So we're going to get there in a session. First, though, I do want to ask about the work that you do in Panama, what you started in Panama, right? You are married to your love, who is a part of an indigenous culture. And so that just is a beautiful bundle of you in your whole experience, this whole connection, the wholeness that you are. So how did you get to Panama?
Well, yeah, it's a great story. I used to train animals for movies and television for over 20 years.
So
I worked
cool.
on films like Legends of the Fall, Northern Exposure, Homeward Bound, all these fun shows. And so I was hired on a film that was shooting in Panama that also hired the Embera indigenous tribe as the actors on the film. So I got to hang out with them on the movie set, and they still live in traditional villages deep in the rainforest. So I got to visit some of those on the weekends and just was so touched with how warm and open and friendly they are. In fact, they are actually very similar. They're about as close as you can get to a human dolphin pod, where they live in true unity, community. Family and community are number one and two, and work is done when work is needed. It's not the be all end all that we've made it to be. And so then I met one of the Embera tribe in particular, and this young man, and he and I fell in love, and I married into the tribe. That was 15 years ago now.
Wow.
And it's been such an honor to be a part of the tribe and to spend so much time with these amazing people who may not be well educated, but man, are they wise and have just such open, beautiful hearts and in touch with their emotions. And I mean, I could go on and on and on about everything I've experienced with them. And so I started a company to take tours and take people out to visit the tribe. And the tribe loves sharing their culture and their traditions with people and sharing their world. But I also, the whole time I was here, I'm thinking, I'm in this tiny country that has two oceans only 50 miles apart. We've got to have dolphins and whales. So what species are there here, and how do I get out on the water to find them? And it took a long time. I searched and searched and could find nothing until a couple years, 2 years later, I went out to one of the Pearl Islands, which is about 35 miles off the coast from Panama City. And I went out there, and all of a sudden people are saying, you need to come back when the whales are here. It's like, okay, tell me more about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I hired a local fisherman, and I said, can you take me out to go find dolphins? So So sure, okay. So we went out, and we not only found a pod of pantropical spotted dolphins, but we also found 4 humpback whales. And it wasn't even whale season. And it turns out that Panama, along with Costa Rica, is the only place in the entire world where humpback whales migrate to from both the southern and the northern hemisphere to breed and give birth. And in the southern migration, which is July through mid-October, there's over 2,000 whales in the area. And so I thought, if it's that easy to find whales and it wasn't even whale season, I could do these tours too. So that's where I pioneered the entire whale watching industry in this country.
Good on you. Kudos, kudos. And what I love that I will explain again is that this is a new earth experience. You are following your heart, following the passion, sharing the wisdom and the consciousness, connecting people to that consciousness, and you're not bothered by any what people might think of you or any belief systems that tell you, oh, you can't make a business out of that. So I just love that, and I have to commend you for it. Beautiful.
Thank you. I've always followed my heart. It's not always been easy, but I have zero regrets in any decision. And I've had so many amazing adventures and experiences, and yes, have I been told no? Absolutely, many times. Have I been told to go get a real job? Absolutely. But, I wouldn't last a couple of days in some office job because I'm just not built for it. And following my heart is really the only way I know how to be.
Right on. That is the new way to be, the new earth way. And so you are a leader in showing everyone as well how it's done. We are role models for new earth, and everyone listening to this show is a new earth leader. So I just commend everyone for listening too. We know we follow our heart. So that's wonderful. Okay, real quick here. What are your thoughts about dolphins in the wild and in captivity? It's quite sad. Some might not want to go into places that have dolphin shows or swim with the dolphins in like an area, but I've actually done both. And from my experience, the dolphins are still giving us such great love. Right? That love is still emanating through.
Yep. No, I agree. And it's a controversial subject, and people are generally, black or white, but I don't see it as black or white. I see it as, a friend of mine once said, and I so agree with this, and that is, true freedom is honoring the soul's choice. So who are we to tell a dolphin who's been, a much higher dimension, a much higher frequency, a much more efficient use of their brain and their consciousness than us, what's right or wrong for them? And I once, years and years ago, was at SeaWorld, and I had a spontaneous, I wasn't even trying, communication from one of the orca whales. And what she told me was, we chose to be here. We chose to be here as ambassadors for our species. And I have friends who work in the industry. The trainers are so dedicated and love those animals. Some of the owners of those facilities, they need some education. They need to shift gears a bit. But the people who work hands-on with those animals, they love them as much as you or I. They may not have the spiritual aspect, but they respect and they honor and they work together. And it is a work together. It's not just trying to make the dolphins do what they want them to do. It's a school back and forth, and they do learn from the dolphins, and they're always trying to better it. And the dolphins, their whole purpose is to reach many more hearts and souls than they would ever do if they were out in the ocean. Because let's face it, not everybody's going to go on a dolphin swim trip or even ever out on a boat. But that the hundreds of thousands of people that go to those facilities can have their hearts touched by the spirit of the dolphin.
Yes, I agree. It's beautiful. All right. They are helping. Okay, well, let's have a connection with our dolphin guide. You're going to lead us on a journey, and thank you for that.
My pleasure. All right, everybody. So hopefully, if you're driving, just keep your eyes open and don't let yourself go too deep. But if you aren't, take a few deep cleansing breaths and allow the tensions and stresses of the day in your muscles to just float away with each breath, just like a gentle wave of the ocean washing through. And the dolphins are asking that I teach you how to do a cetacean breath. And that is, you want to take a deep, deep inhale and hold it for a beat or two. And then when you exhale, you're going to imagine exhaling out through the crown of your head, where your blowhole would be if you were a dolphin, with a powerful exhale out through the crown, out through the blowhole, and then take another deep inhale directly through that crown, through your blowhole. And as you hold it for a beat or two, know that the crown chakra of the dolphin or whale is exactly where the blowhole is. And now a big exhale out the crown. One more inhale. Inhaling in divine wisdom and inspiration directly in through your crown chakra. Hold it for a beat or two. And a final powerful exhale. Knowing that every single time you exhale out through your crown, you're clearing it. Just like the dolphins and whales who have their crown chakra cleared with every single breath. And now I'd like you to imagine that you are on a beach, and the warm sun on your face, and the water, the perfect temperature, lapping at your toes. Clear, beautiful water. And you sense a presence. You see a little bit of splashing out, further out in the water. And you're drawn into the water. And you wade in about to your waist. And this presence comes closer. You feel perfectly safe. And the presence comes up for a breath of air. And you see that it's a dolphin. And you are overjoyed to see them coming closer and closer until it's just a few feet away. And it pulls its head out of the water and it makes eye contact. You look in that beautiful brown dolphin eye. You see depth of wisdom looking back at you. You feel a sense of familiarity. You know this dolphin. You may not consciously remember it, but this is your own personal dolphin spirit guide. Take a moment And really observe your dolphin spirit guide. See what color it is. How big or small. And because it's a spirit dolphin, it's not limited to the colors of the dolphins in the ocean. It can be any color or a pattern of colors. See if you can get a sense if it is male or female, or maybe a combination of both. And mentally ask your dolphin spirit guide what its name is. And trust whatever name you hear, no matter how silly it may seem or odd. And if you don't get something now, know that you will, maybe in the next day or two, or in future meditations. And now your dolphin spirit guide is turning to face out in the bay, just like you are, lining its body next to yours. And you sense an invitation. And you reach out with your hand and you hold on to either the dorsal or the pectoral fin. And your dolphin spirit guide takes you on a journey. And know that you are completely safe, no matter where that journey takes you. If it's deep in the ocean or up into the stars. Feel yourself traveling along at the side of your dolphin spirit guide. And today, that dolphin spirit guide is taking you to a celebration. A celebration of you, where you are the guest of honor. As you grow closer to this celebration, you start to hear many whistles and clicks. And you start to see many other dolphins. And there's some whales here too. All in your honor. And your dolphin spirit guide takes you to the center of the gathering. And the dolphins and the whales, it's like you're floating in the middle, and the dolphins and the whales are in all directions. To your side, above you, below you, all around in all directions. This is what they call the cetacean sphere of love. And you feel this amazing wave of love, complete unconditional love, flowing directly to you. Just breathe deep and allow it. You are worthy. You are deserving. No matter what you may have done or thought or said in the past, they love you. Just really feel the emotion of being loved. And because of their echolocation and their transparency, they not only can see you, but see inside of you and your physical strengths and weaknesses. They also see any mistakes or regrets that you may have, any actions you've taken or things you've said that you wished you hadn't. They see it all. And they love you for them all. Just really acknowledge what it's like to be truly seen. There's nothing you can hide from them. And they love you, no matter what you have said or done in the past. This is a huge gift, something that's extremely rare in our human world. Just take it in. Feel your worthiness. Feel how much they love and honor you. Feel your emotions about this. Whatever those emotions are, the dolphins honor those too. Take a deep breath and just really allow that love, that honor to penetrate deep inside every cell of your body, deep in your heart and your soul. And now, look around at all those beautiful dolphin and whale faces. Acknowledge them. Send them your love and your gratitude. Now your dolphin spirit guide comes back to collect you. And you wave goodbye to the celebration and all your new cetacean family. As your dolphin spirit guide starts bringing you back to the beach. But as you get close, your dolphin spirit guide has a message for you. A message that is what you most need to hear right now. So just tune in and hear in your mind what that message is. Beautiful. And if you didn't hear anything, your soul heard it, and it may become known in the next few days. And now you're approaching back to the beach where you can stand up. Your dolphin spirit guide now facing you, knowing that your life has changed forever. For being seen completely transparently, being loved so deeply, unconditionally, and that this conscious relationship with your dolphin spirit guide is something you can tune into at any time. You can ask him or her to show up in your dreams, in your meditations, even your waking state. And if you feel a little tickle like a bubble, or a zap from their echolocation, a tingle, or even a nudge from their rostrum on your body, that's them. And they have ways of showing up, whether it's somebody's t-shirt in the line at the grocery store, or a bumper sticker, or whatever. They have ways of making themselves known. So be open, enjoy, and explore your new conscious relationship with your dolphin spirit guide. This is just the beginning. And we are complete.
We are complete. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, I would love to hear the message, if anyone would like to share their message, please do. How special. Wow. What a beautiful connection. After we connected with the dolphin, my physical body got so sleepy and dreamy and then very warm, like I was just being held in a cocoon. The sphere, the cetacean sphere of love. Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, I would love to hear if anybody would like to share their message, or if they knew the species of their dolphin spirit guide or what the name of their dolphin spirit guide is. That would be fun to hear. And it's really special, and you do feel totally relaxed and at peace and so safe in the presence of the dolphins and whales.
Yes, so safe, so safe. Okay, so chat that in on our chat line if you'd like to share. Let's see. It was really beautiful to acknowledge what it's like to be truly seen by the dolphin. That was wonderful. Really, really wonderful. That's that safety that you spoke of, unconditional love and safety.
Right. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, my message, I'll share my message. It came very quickly, loud and clear, actually exactly what I needed to hear in my personal journey. And that was a very simple sentence: be bold and happy, journey in joy.
Aw, I love that. Fabulous.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
And Simone, oh, beautiful. We've got Simone who says that the message from her dolphin was, all that is and count is love.
Ooh, nice. It's true. So true. Thanks for sharing, Simone.
And Anne says, you are love, you are beautiful, you are free, you are one of us.
Ooh, that's very special, and again, so true. How very special. Thanks, Anne.
Yes. Okay, here's Gayleen with a question from Australia.
Okay.
And so maybe you've got a way the dolphins, or a way she might work with the dolphins on this issue. She says, I have been told that I have contacts of lack attached to me. I try really hard to do my clearing and manifesting, etc., to no avail. Can Anne see if this is true or what I am meant to do next? I seem to be repeating my misfortune over and over.
Okay, yeah, sure, Gayleen. Thank you for asking, and thank you for being so vulnerable. What came to me as I was hearing what you wrote was that it's all a simple decision. So that, yes, so many of us we've grown up with all these limitations in life. As far as, we're told money doesn't grow on trees, you've got to work hard, you've got to suffer for your money, money's the root of all evil, all of that stuff. And so we're grown up with this idea of lack, and that it's actually good to take a vow of poverty and, to suffer for the good. But here's what I know, and that is, and this is from the whales. Whales represent abundance. They are the largest animals on the earth, larger than any dinosaur has ever lived. And they eat the smallest. They eat krill, they eat plankton, small fish. And you never see a skinny whale. It's easy. And if you think about it, in nature, abundance is easy. There is no lack. Everything that's in harmony in the environment always has what it needs. The birds fly around and they find insects and worms and seeds and berries. The deer just put their head down, or the kangaroos in Australia put their head down, and there's leaves to eat and there's grass. There's always food. The whales just open their mouth and there's fish and krill and plankton. So it's easy. It's just our human belief system. So it's really just shifting your mindset to be aware and to start merging with nature through conscious. I will go out in the garden and I will sit and I will intend. I'll just shut my eyes for a few minutes and intend to merge with nature. And I can just feel my pores opening like a sponge. And just feeling the energy flowing in and out from the plants around me to being more at one with nature. And the more we merge with nature, and you can do this even in an apartment building in the middle of the biggest city. It doesn't matter that you're physically there. It's a mindset. And so if you merge with nature, you become more in the flow of the natural state of abundance. And the beauty is that we haven't gotten to it yet, but in the special offer we're going to make is my Whale School of Abundance recordings, where I go through all of this in great detail to help you get out, just completely loose, just ditch that lack mindset. For example, not only do the whales represent abundance, but they literally create their own abundance. Science has recently proven that when there are more whales, there's not less fish, krill, and plankton. There's more. So how does that work? There's more whales eating the fish, krill, and plankton, but there's still even more. It's because when the whales are eating, they're also, what comes next, they're pooping. And in the whale poop, there are nutrients. And they're bringing the oxygen down to the lower depths and stirring up the ocean. And so their nutrients they're providing through their poop is providing food and nutrients to the phytoplankton, the zooplankton, the krill, the small fish. So if we can tap into that and literally create our own abundance, then there's no such thing as lack.
Okay. Create our own abundance. I could finish that sentence.
Yep.
But I won't go there.
Yeah, we don't need to be, not through us pooping.
All right, that's beautiful. All right, this is a great time to talk about your program for people who wish to go deeper in this, to really work on a deep level of healing on this inner journey, doing the inner work with the assistance of the dolphins and the whales. So let's talk about your special offer, because that a whale abundance course, that's a 21-day journey, a program.
Well, I actually have, there's two different programs in there. There's one is 21 days of dolphin and whale wisdom course. And that is every day you get an email with a video teaching about a certain aspect of joy, living in flow, easily surfing through challenges, opening up to abundance, forgiveness, etc. And each day there's also a 15, 20-minute guided meditation. And then the whale, I call it the Whale School of Wealth, Open to Abundance program, is a series of 5 videos. I taught it over 5 weeks, and it's good to do one a week to really integrate and practice what is presented in each program, each module. And that really is a deep dive into opening up and merging with nature and becoming right aligned with the natural state of abundance.
I see. Okay, that's a good one, because that would be the next question that many have is like, oh my gosh, how do I do that? How do we create our own abundance? Well, that's all in that course. Thank you.
Correct.
5 hours. All right. Good. And so then you've got a bunch of other goodies in here too.
I do. I just kept finding fun things to add in here. I also have another recording of the Meet Your Dolphin Spirit Guide meditation that goes into more depth and gives you time with your Dolphin Spirit Guide, where I will stop talking. I'll set you up and let you have your own journey with your Dolphin Spirit Guide. And then I have another really fun one that I call the Being Whale meditation, where it's a 20-minute guided meditation where you literally get to merge with the heart of Mother Humpback Whale and get to feel what it is like to truly be whale, which is really incredible, to feel their tail, to feel the immensity, and to have access to all the wisdom that the whales hold.
Mm.
And then I have I've been channeling the wisdom from the Dolphins and Whales as a certified dolphin energy healer for many, many years now. And so I've actually written them all down. And so I've compiled it all into one book that I'm calling the Wisdom from the Sea Guidebook. And it's a PDF, 96-page version of that book, where you can literally just read through all the wisdom that I have received over the last, 15, 20 years from the dolphins and the whales.
Beautiful.
And then I have what I call a dolphin dialogue, which is a laser-focused 15-minute dolphin energy healing session just for you, one-on-one, you and me, and you set the intention for the session, and I tap in, send you the healing energy from the dolphins, and then I will also share any and all visions or messages that they have directly for you. And that is recorded so that I can send you that and you can replay it anytime you wish. And then I have a dolphin journal that I have created. It's 140 pages of exercises and wisdom and questions to get you to really start journaling and taking notes about how to incorporate this life skills that the dolphins live with, and joy and flow and transparency, unconditional love. It's a really powerful little journal.
Yeah, that's like channeling the dolphins yourself.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
That's cool. Mm-hmm.
It's a primer, and then it gets you going to continue on your own.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And then I have a little report. I put together a report because I'm sure we got you excited about swimming with the wild dolphins. I put together a list of the top 10 places to swim with wild dolphins around the world, Hawaii being number one. So you can take a look at that and see what calls to you. And I've got tour guide resources in there, as well as the best practices on how to swim respectfully with the dolphins.
Beautiful.
And then finally I'm giving you a $200 discount off on any one of the whale and dolphin wisdom retreats that I lead around the world. And so I lead them here in Panama with my humpback whale friends and dolphins. I go to Baja, Mexico every year, where we get to hang out with the gray whales who literally come right up to the boat. The mothers bring their newborn calves and we can touch them, love them, kiss them, massage them. It's incredible. And swimming with dolphin retreats in both Hawaii as well as Bimini in the Bahamas. And I've got one coming up where we're going to Moorea in French Polynesia to swim in the crystal clear waters with humpback whales. So you get $200 off any one of those retreats.
Okay, very good. That is all part of your special offer that is available for our audience today. It is a deep dive into dolphin and whale wisdom, how we can truly connect. This brings such a happiness and a joy to our life and a comfort. And as we mentioned today, when we work with the dolphins like this, it is absolutely like in this meditation, as we were in that sphere of love and we felt that shift within our body, that is a shift on an energetic level. And that is the work that the dolphins and the whales assist us with, literally raising our vibration.
Yep, absolutely they do. And just being with them really powerfully raises our vibrations. I mean, I've spent, so many weeks out with the whales and the dolphins, and what I found is that it just very gently releases all those emotional blocks and limiting beliefs in a beautiful way. There's no trauma. There's no need to dialogue or hash it out. It just gently releases, and sometimes there's a little emotion, but it just passes really beautifully and in an honorable way.
Yes, right. It is so gentle. I love how you said that. It really is transmuting these lower densities. In my own experience, I was on a boat and I was feeling kind of depressed. And as soon as I got in the water with those dolphins, it was instantly released and transformed. It's amazing. They actually, you were talking about how they come up to you. They actually do if they're working with you on a healing aspect. They can see through us.
Totally. And they're really good at teaching us. Like, if we're all in the mind and I want to be with the dolphins, I want, they avoid us. They teach us that if we just relax and open up and enjoy the experience for what it is, that's when they come in. So they help us be more mindful about what we're thinking, what we're putting out in the world. And they really help us to gain a more conscious awareness of how we are acting and put the energy we're putting out into the world.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Well, here's a question that comes up. And so if you could address this, perhaps from the whale and dolphin perspective, we see on the negative side, we see whales on beaches. We see beautiful stories of heart opening where people will come along and help those whales get back. But when we see something that is tragic, many dolphins who die or who are killed, or spontaneous beachings of whales, what's your thought on that, or the best way that we can deal with it?
Yeah, obviously the best way we can deal with it is to do everything we can to not pollute the ocean and keep the oceans healthy and, be mindful of the plastic we consume and, what we're eating from the ocean so that it's caught in a very clean way. That's number one. That's from the human perspective. From the whale and dolphin perspective, as I mentioned earlier, they are not as connected consciously to their bodies as you and me. So when they pass, when they shift from being in a physical body to back to spirit, it's not as traumatic as it is for you and me. And when many times these beachings happen, sometimes it's a man-made reason, like with the sonar or something like that. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's, I was involved in a stranding where there was one dolphin in the pod that was ill, and every other dolphin came with him because what's more important to them is to be together, is to have that unity community, that family connection, that pod feeling than their own physical lives. which is something that's really hard for us humans to comprehend. But it really, for them, it's more important that they go with this individual so that he does not die alone. And sometimes they do get caught up. And so that's why when we can put them back out into the ocean, and oftentimes one or two of the individuals won't survive, but they were not going to anyway. They came to shore to pass away, or they were drawn there. And then when they're gone and we let everybody else out, then they can release that soul because they know that that spirit is still with them. But that physical pod mind, that pod connection is so important. So the best thing to do is just honor them. And if they need rescuing, great. That's wonderful. And one of the best ways to prevent this from happening is to minimize and get rid of all of the causes that is our human causes. You know, do what we can to protest the military sonar testing. But literally I read something today that was brilliant. How often do we walk past a cupboard full of glasses to get that plastic bottle of water? Do we really need another plastic bottle? No. I can go to the sink and I can get a glass and I can drink water that way. I don't need to use one more plastic bottle that's just going to go into the waste that might end up in the ocean. So we just have to be a lot more mindful of how we are consuming products so that it doesn't harm the dolphins, the whales, anything that's living in the ocean or on the earth.
And stop and pick up plastic if you see sheeted plastic along the road or bags. Yes. Even if you live inland, you know, here in Colorado, I'm always picking up plastic because that makes its way. And so we're getting there. That's the promising thing. We are getting there, and people are being inspired, and we together in crowdfunding projects will support edible straws, right? Edible straws, can you imagine?
Yes.
Or things,
That's
or
wonderful.
compostable plastic, and we are moving away from that, so that's beautiful. I think that awareness is too big to go backwards at this point.
Absolutely.
So that's
I agree.
promising. Okay, beautiful. Well, I wanted to share a few more comments. Persia on our YouTube channel says that the dolphin introduced himself as Aber, and he is blue. And yeah, that's cool. And Persia says, I live in Hawaii and want to meet him and deepen my conscious relationship with him. All right, so any advice for Persia?
Well, one, you already did meet him. So you have to ask him, you can, in future meditations, you can ask him, does he live in a physical body right now? Because he may not. He may be just in spirit right now. So, and if he is, where in the world does he live? And then ask him, if he is living around Hawaii, ask him to show himself or guide you to a boat trip or a beach or bay where you can meet in the physical. But really, what's most important is this heart-to-soul connection that you have right now. You have already met. That's the most important part.
Beautiful. All right. And so get connected with that dolphin and channel. Beautiful. All right. And so let's see. Here's an interesting comment from Melly. Melly said, I must have a block in my crown because during the process I got an intense headache. I'm struggling in my life right now with chaos around my home.
Okay. Well, I would suggest that, one, be really gentle with yourself. And two, start practicing with those cetacean breaths that they taught you today. And maybe 3 is too many for you right now. Maybe just do 1 a day, 1 at a time until you can do more. And that will help, one, just like the whales and the dolphins, when they release their breath, it's very, very powerful. And so maybe just see it more gentle and release, and that imagine every time you exhale out through your crown, you are releasing what no longer serves you, releasing that chaos, releasing that tension. And the more, and you can watch videos of dolphins, you can listen. There's a number of recordings you can find that are of dolphins, their sounds, and that's really gentle and powerful and healing. And that can really help to relax you. And when you start relaxing within, then your world, the chaos around you, will just start going away because it won't resonate anymore. And if you take advantage of my special offer today, in our Dolphin Dialogue session, where it's just you and me, we can really work with this as well. And I can help facilitate you to be more in a peaceful place and start saying goodbye to the chaos, because it's not necessary anymore. It's time to let that go.
Yes, and here on New Earth, we can't bring that old Earth baggage, and so the dolphins and whales really assist us in dropping that density just simply by being in joy. I really love the comments that are coming in. We have a message that came in. Tricia said, the message was, I am a dolphin of the land. Keep bringing joy and love to the world.
I love that. Of course you are, Tricia. That's perfect.
Yes, I love that. Okay, and then Tony has a message. He said, in my original language, you are a good person. You will make it to 5D.
Ooh, nice.
I think you're already there, Tony. The dolphins will get you there.
Yep, absolutely.
And then we have another comment here. My guide Sparky came in. He is a little white-colored dolphin. He took me back to Atlantis and then to the star Sirius.
Nice. Nice. Awesome.
Okay, and now we have time for one caller. We're going to go to, I believe it's Maui, and Solara is on the line. Hi, Solara.
Hi.
Hey,
Solara, I know you.
Yeah, I know you too.
So fun.
Yeah, it's super fun. I wasn't expecting to be called on because it was all web questions before. I was kind of wondering about my personal connection to Lemuria and Hawaii, and so how they connect together and with what's going on Mauna Kea. And also, it's a little bit big question, but I'll see what the dolphins have to say. Also, I've been attempting to move back to Europe, where I'm from, and I feel like it's connected with the Atlantis energy, and I seem to be a bit stuck in Hawaii, and I kind of wonder what the reason is behind that.
What came through when you, and I know your personal journey, we've talked before. What came through when you were talking was that what the words came through was, you are a door opener. It's like your personal spirit is a door opener. It's like you come from Lemuria. You have a past life connection. You have a deep soul connection to Lemuria. And so that's part of your journey there, is to help open that door there in Hawaii to bring that Lemurian consciousness to the land there. And that it is, I know it's hard because you're kind of like you got a foot in both worlds. In, with back in Europe and with Hawaii, and not only that, but also trying to live in this human life, physical life, yet you resonate more with your soul. And so there's like a battle between. So I think you need to go deep in and acknowledge that door open, and even ask, like through meditation, and I can help you with this, where we can help you find out exactly how you need to open that door. But I just get a sense of peace coming through when I feel that door opening. So it's like once you acknowledge and start doing that work, and it doesn't mean that it's a lifetime of work, but that once you get the movement going, then things will start flowing for you. How does that fit with you?
It is very, very interesting, because just this morning, because here in Hawaii it's early afternoon right now, just this morning I was on another call and we had to draw a window and what we want in our lives. So part of it is dolphins, fun, play, and community, and to be connected in service and have ease and flow, and to be carried by the current of life. The second assignment was to draw a door opening.
Ah, wow. I love that.
Isn't that something? And I drew the door opening, and I was just guided to draw a tree, and I wanted to kind of draw a European tree, but it was a palm tree.
Nice.
With a butterfly, which for me stands for transformation.
Of course. Of course.
And the sun, which, has to do with my energy, my name, everything.
Right, for sure. Oh, that's beautiful. I love the synchrony of you having that exercise and then what the dolphins just brought through today, right now.
Yeah, and also I have a few other more synchronicities today, because someone asked on Facebook if you were on a plane with a celebrity for 14 hours and I'm planning to fly, who would you have next to you? So I said, Jason Momoa was the first that came to my mind. And I'm not a big fan or anything, but he's connected, he's coming to Mauna Kea in the Big Island where they have an uprising at the moment. And then right after that, there was a live feed from him arriving there. And in my meditation that I did, I was also connecting with him, like on the way to the island where all the dolphins were. It's so fascinating.
It is. I actually got chills when you talked about that. So about him, and I don't even know who that is. But
yeah, he's like a famous actor, and all the women are like totally like into him, and I'm personally not quite. But then lately, because of this whole thing, I've been feeling connected on, like you said, on the soul level.
Right, exactly. And I get the feeling that I don't think he's even conscious of it, but that his soul called him there to be there, to do that work. It's like he had no choice but to show up, and that he can use his celebrity for the goodness of the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful. So great to hear from you.
Yeah, so glad to be here.
Awesome.
We'll keep in touch.
Okay, I will.
Awesome. Thanks, Alara.
Thank you, Lauren. And
take care. Keep in touch.
Okay, aloha.
Aloha. Beautiful. So, we are wrapping up our show today. Do you want to share some inspiration that you have received from the whales or the dolphin, or any last message as we close out our show?
Yes, I would. One of the most beautiful lessons they have ever given me from the dolphins was, and I get the sense that there's a lot of people going through a lot of stuff right now and stuck and having troubles, and it's really hard when you're a spiritual person to deal with all the negativity and toughness of the world. And that is that just honor your feelings, your emotions. And when the dolphins, the beautiful thing is that with dolphins, that we talked about, there's a sense of joy. Joy is a permanent state. It's not temporary like happy, sad, etc. So get this base, invite the dolphins to help you find this base of joy, and never be afraid to dive deep into your own emotions. Give yourself a day or two if you're upset or sad or grieving, and feel them fully, because that's what the dolphins do. But the beautiful thing, even though there's a temporary discomfort, it doesn't get stuffed down in your body. You feel it, you cry, maybe you kick and scream into the pillow, and then it just goes away. And you come back to this beautiful state of joy. So that by diving deep into your emotions, it's this beautiful gift. And we humans are taught to stuff it away and ignore our emotions. And that causes all kinds of stress and physical disease. But the dolphins ask you to honor your emotions and dive deep. And that will make your life be filled with joy and give you such a strong sense of self and confidence and strength. And nothing will be able to touch you and throw you off your game ever again.
And that is true empowerment. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful. This is where we become masters of our emotions, and the dolphins and whales are here to help us. What a beautiful quantum conversation. Anne Gordon, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't tell you enough how uplifting this conversation is, because it's the happiness and the joy from the dolphins, and we could certainly feel their presence with us today. We're going to stay connected.
Thank you so much for having me. It was an honor to be here and share with you and all of your listeners, and it's always an honor and such a blessing to bring in the dolphins and the whales, and they have so much to give and share with us. Just invite them in. Just ask them to come into your life, into your meditations, wherever you live in the world. They are more than happy to be there for you.
Connecting to the consciousness of the cetacean world. Thank you, Anne Gordon, for this quantum conversation. Namaste.
Namaste.
Again, if you would like Anne's special offer, check that out at acoustichealth.com/special offers/Anne, ANNE. Well, now it is time to dance our way to the cosmic heart and feel the energy and the love of the dolphins and whales. Thank you. quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.